Hello and welcome to the Church of the Holy Family of Nazareth of Aghintain. This is one of the first churches built after the penal times in Ireland. It is the site of what we believe would have been a mass rock and a hedge school. Philip McMahon, who by the way is buried in Clogher Cathedral, was one of the last penal priests. He died in 1795. He left money in his will for 3 churches to be built. This church, Eskra and the 4th chapel. This church was built by Father Patrick Bellew, who was the curate in Clogher at the time. He lived in the cottage at Tulnavert, just at the wedding tree where Carlton talks about in his stories. The first reference of Aghintain Chapel being built we can get from Father McMahon's parishes of Clogher. It says, in an obituary notice of Q. McCaffrey of Town, who died 25th November 1878, aged 82, it is stated that he was at the opening of Aghintain Church in the year 1816. Q. McCaffrey was a draper in Town. There was no churches in this area until Aghintain was built. Everybody came out from the town and came from the surrounding town lands down from the mountain to attend Mass here. At first, it was a simple thatched building, and we know this due to Father James Nolan's diary entries, which I have recently uncovered and gives me the whole history of the church. As you can see, Father James Nolan was the parish priest in Aghintain, Town from 1934 to 1964. Out of interest, he was also a World War I chaplain and a prisoner of war. However, I have recently found his diaries thanks to the parish priest Father Gallagher allowing me entry to the stables in Town. In this, I found that Father Nolan had recorded the complete history of Aghintain Chapel by talking to the older people. You can see his little diagrams how Aghintain was first a little thatched building. It was originally a thatched chapel at Aghintain. We can see the ground plan inside the current church. It was a lot smaller. However, who originally built the chapel, we don't know, but in 1862, Aghintain was then improved by, it says, the Hagen brothers of Eskra, who built this chapel as we see it now. Originally, this stained glass window did not exist until the 1930s, when the next improvement of the chapel began. Set within the older altars of the chapel is a relic of a saint. You can see that this lifts out, and this is a piece of marble with the relics of a saint, we're not sure whose are in here, are set within the marble. When the priests did the Stations of the Cross around people's houses, they took this with them. When they came to kiss the altar, they were not actually kissing the altar, they were kissing the relics of a saint, which sits very neatly within the altar itself.